No, it's not clickbait trash or hyperbole. Intel's NUC 11 has been convincingly thrashed by the Minisforum UM560 in performance, price, temps, noise, and more. It's not perfect though, so don't go hitting that buy button before watching the review. I'll be doing a direct comparison on all metrics against the Intel NUC 11 flagship. Yep, the i7. Thanks to Ryzen for lending me the unit for a different video. The Minisforum UM560 comes with a Ryzen 5625U, which is a 6-core 12-thread CPU with Vega graphics. The unit uses DDR4 SOTA memory. It features an M.2 Gen 3 NVMe slot and space for a 2.5-inch SATA drive. Regular pricing is listed as $399 US for the bare bones, but currently it's less than that. You can also buy it with memory, storage, and Windows 11 pre-installed if you prefer. Inside the box is the UM560 mini PC, HDMI cable, vertical stand, monitor mount, SATA cable, USB power cable, and spare rubber feet. You don't get a HDMI cable or vertical stand with the NUC. The Minisforum UM560 is also the first mini PC to feature a GaN power supply, an improved piece of power delivery tech I'll be going over in a future video. Basically, it allows a power supply to be much smaller. This is the 65W UM560 unit versus the ridiculous 120W NUC brick. The port selection on the Minisforum UM560 is surprisingly nice and modern. Dual USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 on the front, and one of them has DisplayPort out. There's also an audio jack and clear CMOS button. On the back, you've got a Type-C port supporting alt mode. If your monitor supports USB power delivery, you can connect it here. You'll get a display signal and power the Mini with the one cable at the same time. Cool stuff. Otherwise, you plug in the GaN power supply and USB cable into the Mini PC. There's also 2.5 gigabit LAN, dual HDMI, and dual USB 2. Perfect for mouse and keyboard. A total of 7 USB ports, with 6 being usable if you have to power it from the wall. If you power via a monitor, you can easily run quad 4K displays. Otherwise, it easily supports 3 displays. The only advantage the NUC has port-wise is the dual Thunderbolt 3 ports, if you really need them. Oh, also the SD card reader on the side. No SD card reader? Can we change the title of the video? The fewer USB ports on the NUC is a problem for those of us that use a wired mouse and keyboard and don't want USB hubs hanging out from it. Anyway, build quality wise, the NUC is far ahead with its premium metal case. The UM560 feels very plasticky and not as solid in the hands, but it's acceptable. What isn't acceptable is how you open it. First you have to rip off the rubber feet, which are glued on, and then you've got access to 4 tiny screws. Did somebody say screwdriver kit? Finally, you need a tool to pry open the lid. Why? There are 4 screws holding it in place. That's plenty, and the lid should come right off. I'm going to say this once. If you need more than a screwdriver to open a mini PC, you're not doing it right. In the future, I'd also like bigger screws and easier access to them. Have holes in the rubber feet where the screws are, or whatever. Unlike the NUC, the Wi-Fi is not soldered on, so you can switch it to something else. The Gen 3 NVMe slot isn't as fast as the Gen 4 in the NUC, but for the everyday user, you will literally notice zero difference in speed. The NUC has a thermal pad for the M.2 slot, which is nice, but only useful since it has a metal case to dissipate the heat. I like that the UM560 comes with a metal vertical stand, but the clear rubber inside is lame and flimsy. Please fix it for the next generation. Okay, let's look at benchmarks. In single-core Cinebench, the Minisforum is behind by less than 4% compared to Intel's i7 NUC, but it's ahead by 7% in multi-core. So how does this work out in something more real-world? Well, when encoding a video in Handbrake, the UM560 beat the i7 by over 6%. Integrated graphics is up next, and 3D Mark Firestrike DX11 shows a 33% lead for the i7 NUC, and 21% in DX12. Wait, what? Didn't I claim this was the NUC killer? Am I full of shit? Okay, so Intel has been caught optimizing their drivers purely for 3D Mark, which results in scores not representing real-world usage. So I tested 5 actual games on both systems, which you can see side by side using the same detail settings. Forza Horizon 5 should run faster on the NUC, but in fact, it's slightly faster on the UM560. Surprise! Hades is a DX11 game, so it should be a lot faster on the NUC, and while it's pretty hard to replicate actions in both, I'd say both units have very similar performance. Doom Eternal is clearly faster on the UM560, no question. Valorant is another tough one to compare, but the overall frame rate was again higher on the UM560. Finally, we have God of War, which is very interesting. For cutscenes and walking bits, the NUC pulls ahead by up to 10%, but when it comes to combat, the UM560 is clearly faster. Hardly 20 to 30% gains, right? You bet your ass I'm right. So, are the NUC 11 3D Mark scores BS? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes. Next, I tried out PS2 emulation, and performance was similar between the two units. It's hard to judge since both have their issues using DX12 or Vulkan. But if you get a game that does run without graphical glitches or crashing, usually 1440p resolution runs full speed, except something difficult to emulate like Gran Turismo 4. PS3 was a complete fail on the NUC with every game crashing. It wasn't great on the UM560 either. I'd stick to PS2 or GameCube and Wii emulation for these units. So we've established the performance level of both mini PCs. The Ryzen 5 is ahead of the i7 in everything except single core Cinebench, where it only lags behind a few percent. But how much power does it draw from the wall? I'm glad you asked. The answer is much less. And less power draw means less heat, and again, the UM560 wins out with the NUC almost reaching 100C. And since the NUC has much more heat to dissipate, that means more fan noise under load, and in general. Shut your NUC hole. So overall, the Minisforum UM560 is faster, quieter, and uses less power than the i7. It's at least $200 US cheaper and has a competitive set of ports. The power supply is tiny compared to the NUC brick, and it comes with a vertical stand. While the build quality isn't as great as the NUC and no Thunderbolt is included, it still doesn't change the fact that this unit is the NUC 11 Panther Canyon Killer. Since there won't be a NUC 12 performance unit, these really need a sharp price cut. Want even more power in your mini PC? Stay tuned for a review of the Minisforum UM580 featuring a Ryzen 5800H processor. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more mini madness in the future. Cheers!